Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome, dear students. I hope you are all doing well. Dear students, today we will continue our unit number 5, the Great Masjid of Cordoba and Iqbal. So dear students, in the previous lecture you learned about the Cordoba Mosque, about where it is situated, who found it, and when it was found, and about the visit of Iqbal, about the architecture of the mosque, how it is built, and the history of the Cordoba Mosque. So dear students, this Cordoba is a city in Andalusia in the south of Spain, and the mosque was founded by Abdul Rahman I in 784 AD, and Allama Muhammad Iqbal visited the Cordoba Masjid in 1933, and this visit was not an ordinary visit of an average tourist interested in ancient monuments, but it was a pilgrimage to an outstanding symbol of faith by a faithful believer. So dear students, this masjid is also called Masjid-e-Qurtuba in Urdu, and Iqbal wrote a poem, and the name of the poem is Masjid-e-Qurtuba. So dear students, let's continue our unit number 5, the Great Masjid of Cordoba and Iqbal, from page number 43. The most consummate and accomplished structure of the masjid is its prayer hall. The hall is erected with 857 columns from which sprout means put out an amazing two-tied means a series of rows. Symmetrical arcs, symmetrical mean equal or uniformed. These arcs are made of stone and red bricks, giving strong chromatic mean ascending effect to the interior mean inside of the prayer hall. The multiplicity mean the variety of the column in the prayer hall so amazed Iqbal that he expressed his feelings in these words: तेरी बिना पायदार तेरे सुतूं बेशुमार शाम के सहरा में जैसे हुजूम नखील. Your foundations are lasting, your columns countless, like the profusion of palms in the plains of Syria. So dear students, the most perfect and accomplished structure of the masjid is its prayer hall, and the hall is built with 857 columns from which put out an amazing two tiers, equal and uniformed arcs, and these arcs are made of stones and red bricks, and they give a strong ascending effect to the inside of the prayer hall. And the variety of the columns in the prayer hall so amazed Iqbal that he expressed his feelings in these words that your foundations are lasting, your columns countless, like the profusion of palms in the plains of Syria. And these lines are taken from the poem of Iqbal, Masjid-e-Qurtuba. So the focal point in the prayer hall is the famous horseshoe arched mihrab and the Qibla wall of the mihrab. The arc and the Qibla wall of the mihrab are decorated with the inscription mean epigraph or lettering of two lines of calligraphy in Koptic style. Koptic style means an Islamic style of handwritten alphabets or calligraphy, both on top and either side of the arc. The mosaic mean an artwork or pictures made by a small piece of stones. Of the two lines, calligraphy has blue background with gold letters, whereas the single line of calligraphy immediately over the arc in is mosaic having golden background with blue letters in Coptic script. So the center point of the prayer hall is the famous horseshoe arched mihrab and the Qibla wall of the mihrab, and the arc and the Qibla wall of the mihrab are decorated with the Coptic style calligraphy both on the top of and either sides of the arc, and the mosaic of the two-line calligraphy has a blue background and gold letters, and then there is a single line of the calligraphy in the Coptic script having golden background with blue letters. The mihrab is decorated with gold tesserae and a repeated flowing design of plants reflecting dark blue, reddish brown, yellow, and golden rays of light that charms the visitors with its beauty. A dazzling dome hovers over the mihrab. It is built of crisscrossing mean intersecting paths, and ribs mean supporting material that create pointed arcs. All lavishly mean splendid or rich, covered with gold mosaic in a radial pattern. Radial pattern mean a root. The addition of ribs to the vault of the dome has not only given strength to the dome but also provided a fascinating mean attractive decorative technique in the form of arrows formed by interlacing ribs. Interlacing means interweaving or crossed together. So, dear students, the mihrab is decorated with small blocks of stones and the repeated flying designs of plants, and they seem like reflecting dark blue, reddish brown, yellow, and golden rays of light that charms and attract the visitors with its beauty. And a shining dome hang over the mihrab. It is built, dazzling means shining and hovers mean hang, and it is built of intersecting paths, having a supporting material that creates pointed arcs. They all are ridged or splendid with the gold mosaic in a root pattern. So the supporting material or the pillars to the vault of the dome has not only given strength to the dome, but it also provided an attractive and decorative technique in form of arrows formed by crossed laces or crossed weaves together. The Masjid of Cordoba is a superb example of magnanimity mean charity of the Muslim civilization to create an architectural masterpiece on pre-existing regional traditions. It is an extraordinary combination of familiar and innovative mean pioneering, which can be recognized as Islamic even today. So, dear students, the masjid is a superb example of the charity of the Muslim civilization to create an architectural masterpiece on the pre-existing regional traditions, and it is an extraordinary combination of familiar and pioneering, which can be recognized as Islamic even today in the present or the current era. After the fall of the Muslim in Spain, the masjid was converted into a cathedral in 1246 AD, and a giant mean imagery nave giant nave mean imagery giant mean imagery and nave mean cathedral. The central part of a cathedral was built in the center of the masjid. Upon completion of the cathedral, the King Charles V visited the area for first and remarked, "We have built what other might have built elsewhere, but we have destroyed something that was unique to the world." So, after the fall of the Muslims in Spain, this masjid was converted into a cathedral in 1246 AD, and an imagery central part of the cathedral was built in the center of this mosque. And when it was completed, the King Charles V visited the area for the first time, and he said that we have built what other might have built elsewhere, but we have destroyed something that was unique to the world. So Iqbal was so moved by the magnificence meaning the greatness of the masjid that he saw the traces mean the discoveries or the findings, the ishq of those who built it. Ishq, according to Iqbal, is the burning desire to do one's utmost mean greatness, to achieve one's ideal perfection and self-realization through the moral teachings of Islam. It was this uplifted mean inspired passion that made Muslims era that era extend their dominance to far off lands. Iqbal expressed his tidings in these words. Tidings means his feelings. है मगर इस नक्श में रंगे सबाते दवाम, जिसको किया हो किसी मर्द खुदा ने तमाम। मर्द खुदा का अमल इश्क से साहिब फ़रोग़, इश्क है असले हयात, मौत है उस पर हराम। Yea, there exists a hue of eternity in this imprint, the one that has been completed by some man of God. The action of the man of God gets accelerated mean get move on with age. The essence mean the spirit of life is ishq, death is forbidden for it. So Iqbal was so impressed with the greatness of this mosque that he find the traces of the ishq of those who built this mosque. And according to Iqbal, ishq is the burning desire to one's greatness, to achieve one's ideal of perfection and self-realization through the moral teachings of Islam. And then Iqbal expressed his feelings in these words, and these lines have been taken from his poem that he wrote to praise the Cordoba Mosque, Masjid Cordoba. And he said that here there exists a hue of eternity in this imprint, the one that has been completed by the man of God. The action of man of God gets accelerated with ishq. The essence of life is ishq, death is forbidden for it. Iqbal attributes mean regard, the beauty and grandeur mean glory of this magnificent masjid to the intense ishq of Mard Khuda, which still emanates mean flow from the premises of this masjid. Premises mean established or establishment. तेरा जलाल जमाल मर्द खुदा की दलील, वो भी जलीलो जमील, तू भी जलीलो जमील. Your grandeur and beauty manifest mean clear. The man of God, He too is eminent and handsome. You two are eminent and handsome. Eminent mean great. So Iqbal expresses his feelings for the beauty and for the glory of this beautiful mosque in these words. The Masjid of Cordoba is one of the finest works of art and fantastic display of ishq which can be accomplished only when a person Mard Khuda is at exalted mean high state of moral mean virtuous and spiritual character. We can achieve this again if we enkindle mean arouse and ourselves this master passion, the ishq, another name of perpetual mean everlasting and sincere struggle to achieve one's ideals. So dear students, the Cordoba Mosque or the Masjid of Cordoba is one of the finest work of arts and the fantastic display of ishq, and according to Iqbal, the ishq of the people who built it flow from the architecture, from the building, from the glory of this beautiful mosque, the Cordoba Mosque, and in such fantastic work of art can only be accomplished only when a Mard Khuda, a true believer, a faithful believer is at the highest state of virtuous and spiritual character. So we can achieve this again if we arouse in ourselves this master passion, the ishq, another name of the everlasting and sincere struggle to achieve one's ideals. At the end here we have a picture on page number 44. Here it is. So dear students, this was all about the great mosque of Cordoba and the visit of Iqbal. Thank you so much dear students. Allah Hafiz.